Hey, Nico. All right, let's make this work. So today I'm going to teach you about the Tonic Sol Fa system. So I'm going to be going over a lot of kind of foundational music theory today, more specifically a broad look at how rhythms work. We'll talk a little bit about time signature. I'm going to glaze over things like keys and introduce you to the Tonic Sol Fa system. So I'll be sending you an email as well with these documents that I'm going to give to you or go over today. So you'll have those on your end. And then when you come back next week, I can give you hard copies of these if you don't have a printer. So the Tonic Sol Fa system, let me introduce that to you today. That is the system. You might have heard of these words before: do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That refers to the Tonic Sol Fa system. So this was a system invented by a monk in 900 something. That's who this is attributed to, Guido de Arezzo or something like that. So basically, the Tonic Sol Fa system is how you sing music theory. And the practice and the results are that you will both learn to sing and stay in an actual key better. So when people say like you're singing sharp or flat, it really is learning about something called relative pitch. And that is specifically learning how to acclimate your ear to stay within the 7 notes that comprise keys. So that's fundamentally this do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And these are the words that we use when we are singing in a major key. We're going to come back to that. So I got to get you some foundation stuff with this first. Some of this might be new. Some of it might not. I might be reminding you of some things. There's probably going to be some new concepts though. Ultimately, while there is going to be a lot of explanation today, you will be learning a song, and I'm going to be sending you the audio for that. So even though this might be a lot of new information, really you just have to learn to sing this song, and you'll have the audio reference. But I am going to break down all the steps. So first thing we need to talk about are rhythms. Rhythms are a way to communicate how long to make sound or not make sound for. So if we're talking about our voice, it's if we're holding a note for 4 beats, 2 beats, 1 beat, half a beat, etc. And then to not make sound, that's when it comes to rest. So this is a hierarchy of different types of rhythms. At the very top, we have what's called a whole note. The whole note always gets 4 beats. It's a circle. There is no stem. See down here, we've got these little lines. These are called stems. So there's no stem on a whole note, and the circle is not filled in. So anytime you see that means that we are going to hold that note for 4 beats, right? So that gets, or actually I'll just write it out as 1, 2, 3, 4. You will be holding it as 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, real quick, before I should have started with this. We have something called tempo. Tempo is like how fast or how slow a song is. A modern way to notate tempo is, you'll see BPM. BPM stands for beats per minute. You've probably heard that before. That's a very specific way to say, okay, this has 120 beats per minute. So that's tempo, how slow or how fast. Rhythm is within that tempo. Okay, so if the tempo is like this, be held for 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Beneath the whole note, we have what's called a half note. Half note looks like a whole note in that it's a circle not filled in, but it's got this stem on it. So a half note is held for 2 beats. And I'm going to write in 1, 2, 3, 4 because this is just a hierarchy kind of showing you like, oh, in the time that it takes to make a whole note, you could fit 2 half notes in this. This becomes like basic fractions or like measuring cups. Beneath the half notes, we have quarter notes. Quarter notes look like a half note, but the circle is filled in and it has the stem. Quarter notes always get 1 beat each. So again, in the time that it takes to make one half note, we could fit in two quarters, 4 quarters for one, just showing you the display of the hierarchy here. And then beneath that, we've got what is called eighth notes. Eighth notes get 1/2 of a beat, not to be confused with the half note that gets 2 beats. So eighth notes, there are rules. You don't need to know when to use the rules. You just need to know how to read them. So lots of times, eighth notes, when they're next to each other, they'll have a bar between them. This line up here, that's called a bar. So that's an eighth note. An eighth note gets 1/2 of a beat. When eighth notes are by themselves, are not going to get connected to an eighth note next to them, they kind of look like a quarter in that it's a filled in circle and a stem, but they have a little tail on them. So when they're on their own, they'll have a tail. Oftentimes they're next to other eighth notes, and they might be drawn together with a bar. Either way, these are eighth notes. They get 1/2 of a beat. The way that we count them is they're going to get a number or an and, depending upon where in the measure they fall within the beat sequence. So I'm going to write in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Below that, and you're not going to see these in any of the exercises we're doing, but these are 16th notes. 16th notes get 1/4 of a beat. So the way that we count those is 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and and like the eighth notes, when they are, lots of times they're next to other 16th notes and they'll be drawn together with a bar. 2 bars indicate that it's a 16th note. If they are on their own, they're going to have 2 tails. Either way, this is 1/4 of a beat, 1/4 of 1 beat. Down here we have what's called the dot rule. If you see a rhythm, so if we see a half note that has a dot behind it, this is a really common one that you're going to see in exercise, the second exercise that we go over, if we get to that today. So what the dot does, it says dot rule, add half the value of the note to the note. So if we see a dotted half note, and we're like, okay, how much does a half note, how many beats does it get? Great, half note gets 2 beats. So you have to add half again the value. So what's half of 2? Well, that would be 1. So you add 1, 2 plus 1 equals, it's held for 3 beats total when this dotted half note. So it just adds half again. So you can think of it like that, or you can like think about multiplying it times 1.5. Either way, it gets you the same number. Down here below the rhythms, we have rests. It's the same concept. It's just how long you're quiet for. So this one at the top here, this is a half. My box has got a little squirrely. So the half always gets 4 beats of quiet. So it's a line with a little box underneath it. Underneath that we have, I don't know if I just said half, I feel like I did. It's this whole, sorry. This is a whole rest. Under that we have the half rest. Half rests get half as much of the whole, just like up here with the whole note and the half note. So they get your quiet for 2 beats. They sure look a lot alike. The whole rest, the box is beneath the line. The half rest, the box is above the line. That still leaves confusion. So this is how everybody remembers this. Half looks like a hat. See how it's like, looks like a little hat there? That's literally how everybody remembers it. So if it looks like a hat, it's a half. Beneath that, these little squiggles, these are quarter rests. Just like the quarter note, they get 1 beat each, but they're quiet for 1 beat. Beneath that, these guys, these are eighth rests. So they get 1/2 of a beat of quiet. We count them the same way, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And beneath that, we have 16th rests. And they are quiet for 1/4 of a beat. So same thing, it's going to be like 1E and 2E and okay, so that's how rhythms, how long you hold a note for. Rests are how long you're quiet for. Dot rule adds half again the note's value to the note. Okay, so now let's look at the song that we're gonna learn and also go back to the Tonic Sol Fa system. So today we're gonna learn songs in the key of C major. Broadly, when we talk about a key, you can think about ingredients in a recipe. To make this specific recipe, you must use these ingredients, and that's how I like to think about keys. The key of C major is comprised of 7 specific ingredients. The notes of C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Then it starts back over with C again. I'm not gonna get too far into the weeds yet of why these are the way they are, but for right now, we're just gonna know that these are the ingredients that comprise the notes in the key of C major. If we talk about the scale of C major, that's going in order. So how you see it here, this is the first note, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, and then we start back over on the 1, or you can think about it as an 8th. So anytime in a song, when we're singing, I'm using going back to the Tonic Sol Fa system. Anytime in a song, when we see the note of C, we will always sing it as do. Now, it looks like do, it's do. Anytime we see the note of D, we're gonna sing it as re. It looks like re, it's re. Anytime we see the note of E in the key of C major, we sing it as mi. Anytime we see the note as F, we sing it as fa. Anytime we see the note of G, we sing it as sol. Anytime we see the note of A, we sing it as la. And anytime we see the note of B, we sing it as T. So if we go then to look at the first song that you're gonna learn to sing today. The Tonic Sol Fa system uses, as far as we know, the 3 types of ways that human beings learn to learn, 3 things that human beings utilize to learn things. So you human beings are visual. So we are going to be reading the music. Doesn't matter if you read the music or not. There's a lot of clues in here I'm going to show you that's going to help you immediately. Human beings learn by hearing, aural, A-U-R-A-L. And finally, human beings learn by doing, by kinesthetic learning. So the Tonic Sol Fa system combines all of those, where we are visually seeing, we are hearing the notes, and you're going to hear the song in a second, and we are doing, so as we are putting all these actions together and singing it. Okay, so let's look at the first exercise that we're going to learn today. I'm not gonna get too much in the weeds on how on the key of C major beyond what I just said. So I'm just gonna tell you this first song is in the key of C major. We don't see any sharps or flats. See down here, we see what we call a sharp. There's none of that up here. So right now we're gonna assume this is in the key of C major. So we will be using the notes C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, or the song can potentially use those notes. This one uses all of them except B. So the first thing we're going to look at is rhythm, the time signature. The most important thing for you is to know about this top number. See, it says 4 up there. When we look at that, that's going to tell us how many beats per measure. So this is going to tell us that each measure must somehow equal 4 beats. That's what the top number tells us. Well, what's a measure? A measure are these boxes. This is a measure, this is a measure, this is a measure. Now, notice they visually are spread out or smaller. That doesn't have anything, that's just about fitting things on the page. It doesn't have anything to do with rhythms. The rhythms have to do with this top number telling us that somehow every one of these measures must equal 4. That is the rule, black and white. And then these rhythms within each measure articulate how to play each note or what duration to play each note or sing each note. And they will follow the rule that somehow whatever combination of rhythms within each measure or box, this little box guy, it must equal 4. You might also hear people say like 16 bars, give me 2 bars. Bars is another word for measure, not to be confused with the bar up like on a rhythm or a bar chord in guitar. We have a lot of overlap in music. Okay, so the first thing we have are quarter notes. So these are gonna get one beat each. So I'm gonna write in the rhythms above this. So this gets beat 1, this gets beat 2, 3, and 4. And then we finish that equals 4. Think about a basic algebraic equation. Something must equal 4. Next measure, we have one whole note. Well, that's held for the whole measure, the duration of 4, because it's a whole note. We have 4 quarter notes again, so each gets 1 beat. And then we have another whole note that gets held for 4 beats. This goes to the next line. See how there's no, down here, how there's like this darkened 2 lines? That means that it's done. If we don't see that, we keep going. So this song is 2 lines long. See how this next line, we see that? The end bar there? That means we're done. So this one's 2 lines long. This is 1 line. All right, so go to the next line. We got quarter notes again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We get quarter notes again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, watch out. First time we're seeing half notes. So the first beat gets held for the duration of 1, 2. Second beat gets held for the duration of 3, 4. And then this final note is a whole note, so it will be held for 1, 2, 3, 4. So now we're gonna write in the do, re, mi's. The do, re, mi's are called solfège syllables. So now we go to the logic being every time we see a C, it's do, D is re, E is mi, F is fa, G is sol, A is la, B is ti. So this first note is a C, so we're gonna sing that as do. This is a D, so that will be sang as re. This is an E, that's mi. F is fa, G is sol. Then we've got 2 G's, so we've got sol, sol. Then a fa, squeeze you up there. Then a mi, then a re. Then we've got C, D, E, F, so it's do, re, mi, fa. It looks just like the line above it. Then we've got a G, so that's sol. Then we've got an A, that's our la. Back to G, sol. F is fa. E is mi. D is re. And we take it on home to do. When I say take it on home to do, that means we're going to resolve. There's a term in music, it's very important, called resolve. Resolve is making the song sound done. Sound like, ooh, the story is good. We are finished. We feel good about the song ending now. Not all songs do that. But if you want the listener to be like, yeah, I feel satisfied. The story's over. Ah, it turned out good. You always end with do. Do is the most important note in all of our music because everything relates to it. And that is what the Tonic Sol Fa system is about. That's what relative pitch is about, is attenuating or your ear to always remember the do. And I don't think attenuating was the right word, but that's the big idea with all of this is do is the master of everything. Okay, now we need to learn what this song sounds like. So we're gonna start on, let's see, we're gonna start on opening up your song so I can have some audio. Oh no, technical difficulties, we're back. Okay. So your first, okay, I'm gonna first play the key of C major for you. Or that's a scale. That was do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Going ascending. If we sing descending, it would sound like. So on the audio, you're gonna hear me first say the scale. So you'll sing along with it. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. It's weird doing this the first. You might have heard the Sound of Music, so it seems all fine and dandy on the way up, but then on the way down, it feels like singing backwards. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. You get used to it. Okay. Up next, let's learn how to sing this. All right. So I'm gonna play you the phrases now. These are slurs or phrase markers. I'm just kind of grouping each one into phrases. You can kind of use it as a place to breathe. That said, it doesn't always work out with these, so sometimes you got to breathe in some awkward places. But how this sounds is, we start here and we go, do, re, mi, fa, sol, 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 fa, mi, re. Next line, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Oh, I forgot to breathe on most all of that. Okay, so that's what this sounds like. You're going to get the audio associated with that. And you just want to read this. The visual clues, even if you don't read music, are this. Notes are written either on a line or in between a line. So see how this is on a line, in between a line. This one goes below the line. This one goes even further, and then we have to write on something called a ledger line. But either way, the most important thing is to start to learn these rhythms, and then to understand that. See how these are going in an upward direction? That means it's going up in sound. See how this one repeats? So you can tell these three repeat. Oh, I'm singing the same note again, same note, right? 3 in a row, different rhythms. And then notice how these are ascending. So you can be like, oh, we are going up, then we come back down. So the visual, the ups and the downs. So learning to read the rhythms and then the visual piece of things going up and going down. And notice too, yeah, they're going up, but they're not like we call a leap in music. So we're not going from like skipping from here to like a note up here. They're close. In fact, they are right next to each other on the scale. In this chapter that we're going to be working in right now, notes either when they go up, they're going to go up to the one right next to it. So this starts at C and it goes up to D. This is at D and goes to E. Or they repeat G to G. So there'll never be a big jump up or down. It's always going to be real close. So that's the other visual thing for you to pay attention to. Let's see. Let's do, why don't I have you start with just this much? I was going to have you do the next one, but we'll keep it at this, especially since you've got a cough. This should be something though you should be able to do even if your voice doesn't sound good or you have a cold or whatever, because this is really about getting note precision. So what I mean by that is pitch. So we're going to be listening to the audio. Is my voice matching the audio? And of equal importance is rhythm. Am I matching the rhythm correctly? Am I holding each one for 1 beat or for 4 beats and then staying on tempo? The audio track is going to have metronome and everything on there. So it's very precision. This is when I do this stuff, when I practice rhythms or solfège, it's the only time that I think about myself more like a robot, more like a machine. Otherwise, singing, that's not the objective, to sound like a machine. But it's a good way to kind of practice like a very uniform. And when you go to sing, you're a human. You're not going to sing it perfect. Nobody is. Unless you have being tuned live or in the studio. Everyone does that. But you shouldn't. I mean, you can do whatever you want. That's just me on my soapbox. Okay, have fun with this, and I'll see you next week.